Welcome into another episode of Chuckin Buckets, part of the Fan Addict Sports Network. Tonight we bring you a special where we're covering the Pete Hollis Showcase, coming live from Greenville, South Carolina, February 29th through March the 2nd. We'll be right back after this intro. Spin it.
Boy, Coach Chuckin Buckets. You know how we get down, man. Just to let you know, today's episode brought to you by Swipe Fast. That's swipe with a Y. Swipe Fast. If you're looking for a way to keep majority of that hard-earned profit, you know what I'm saying, and still continue to grow your business, check out Swipe Fast. It's a merchant services company that's got over 26 years of combined experience helping businesses of all sizes, man, with debit card, credit card processing, things of that ways, you know, in the most efficient and cost-saving ways, man. So whether you're a restaurant, retail store, e-commerce, or you process business-to-business payments, Swipe Fast has a solution to fit all the needs, man. You can visit them at swipefast.com. That's swipe with a Y, fast.com. Or you can just call them at 1-800-597-0713. No strings attached, and get you a cost analysis. Don't forget ask about that revolutionary pricing cash discount too, man. It's saved business owners up to 99% of the current processing fees. Let them know Chuckin Buckets sent you, man. Now back to the regular scheduled program.
We got the Pete Hollis Invitational coming up here in Greenville. To talk about it, we're bringing in one of our close friends, head coach of Legacy Charter, Mr. BJ Jackson.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, man? How you feeling out there in New York?
And it is cold up here, man. Like a snowstorm that came through early in the week, and by the time we touched down up here, it was like 37 degrees. So we got everybody situated, don't got them fed and in their rooms. We just had a little team meeting and stuff. Then we had a coaches meeting. So I think, everybody's getting a little situated right now.
I had air on earlier today.
I agree with it. We got to put their big coats back on.
Right.
So, hey, Coach, we know we got the Pete Hollis coming down here to Greenville. Kind of tell us what's the significance? Why the name, the Pete Hollis Invitational? What's the significance behind that?
So Pete Hollis was, most people know that Legacy Early College is on the grounds of the old Parker High School. And Pete Hollis was actually the founder of the Parker Unified District School back when it was just Parker and Greenville High School. What most people don't realize is Pete Hollis actually went up to Springfield, Massachusetts, and actually learned the game of basketball from Jason Naismith himself because, back then basketball was brought in through the YMCAs. And, Pete Hollis was one of the guys that started one of the first YMCAs in Greenville, but he actually brought the game of basketball back to Parker High School or Unified District for a lot of the middle school kids to play with. Back in the day, you had Judson and Monaghan and all the mills, and all the kids went to Parker High School. So that's one of the sports that they all played. And that's what most people don't realize. That's how the test out tournament came about.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, huge. That's big time. KB, you got any questions for Coach?
Yeah, definitely, man. Kind of speak to I guess the importance or the impact of having that type of tournament. Being able to host that at Legacy, what it does for the school, what it does also for the city. Obviously, it's going to bring some revenue to the city as well. But kind of speak towards those things. I
think one, it's a big thing for the city. Last year we did it over Bob Jones. It wasn't as big as a magnitude. This year we added, of course, Montverde, #1 team in the country that features #1 player in Cooper Flagg, as well as EYBL Academy is coming down as well. For the school, we was at Bob Jones last year. This year we decided to host it on our own school grounds so people can get a feel of the rich history of basketball over there at our school with Pete Hollis and stuff. Most people don't realize our gym was built back in 1921, and we came in probably like 7 years ago, did some renovations on it. So, we want everybody to get the feel of that mystique of the old school feel within our facilities and stuff.
So with all these big time schools coming in, I mean, you play in that conference with all the big time schools. You got big time players. What players on your team would you say, if somebody hadn't seen your team, these are the guys to look out for?
Of course, we had TJ Copeland's about 6'8", 250. Seton Hall, College of Charleston, UAB, all of them been on him. And we have Travell Bryson, which is ironic. He's from Charlotte, but his dad is played down at Lawrence, ended up going to Spartanburg Methodist. Mom's from Anderson. So he's actually a South Carolina kid, but family ended up moving up to Charlotte. We also got a young man from Florida, Adrian Shackleton, is a glue kid, and we got Cole Henson. I think we got a lot of pieces on our team that a lot of people don't realize because our conference just like loaded. When you look at Montverde team, they got 9 Power 5 kids.
Wow.
And it goes down. You got Lou High that has VJ Ishkim that's going to Baylor. Also has Camilla Anthony's son. And it's just out of 14 teams, every team, every night you got to play. Either you're going to play hard and, compete, or you're not going to play hard, you get beat by 30 or 40 points at any given night.
Ooh, yeah, Montverde. I'm looking, man. They got 3 top 15 guys, you know what I'm saying, including Newell, man. And it's going to be a test, man. So who would you say the public would favor in this tournament coming in?
Of course, everybody's going to look at Montverde, especially with Cooper Flagg, but people don't realize with Montverde, you still got Derek McQueen, that's highly talented kid, Monique kid that's going to Indiana. You got the Robert Wright kid that's going to Baylor. So, like you said, Asanu that's going to Georgia. So they're loaded. You also got Lalamere that has Jerry Easter coming in. IMG that has the #1 point guard in the country that's going to be here. So, at any given night, anybody can take an L.
Mm.
So, Coach, I know, high school basketball is big, especially here in Greenville County. What is something I guess the fans can look to for coming out to this? How is the environment going to be if you think about back to some of your days, either playing at Berea or coaching at Southside, going up against the Greenvilles where the place is packed out? How is the environment different with these showcase style games of just the best players in the country?
I always tell people, when you look at our games, you're looking at potential pros. A lot of these kids are already on mock draft boards already. A lot of them been, especially the seniors, some of them already been said they're going to probably one and done. So you're looking at kids of the future of NBA. And it shows, like, some of our events have had NBA scouts at them. We're anticipating a large collection of college coaches. Last year, we've had probably around like 9 to 10 college coaches, D1 head, Power 5 head coaches. Cherokee Parks came down last year as part of Team USA basketball. So our expectation is to be like a great atmosphere. All like right now, we talked about the other day, our courtside seats for Saturday night are already sold out.
Mm.
So like that's the night where you're gonna have Montverde, Arizona Compass, Lalamere, IMG, ourselves. We'll be playing Wasatch. You're gonna have like a slew of teams that Saturday that a lot of people. We've gotten calls from people from Myrtle Beach talking about coming up for the game. Charleston, we've had some people from Tennessee already call about anticipating being at the game, the games that weekend.
KB, you got anything else for Coach?
Man. Yeah, one more question, man. It's big time, man. Obviously you guys play in a lot of big time tournaments, man. Like going into something like this, man, what's your message to the team to kind of, keep them humble, not getting caught up in the, the big names and, knowing that, knowing you guys going to compete regardless. Like, what's your message to the team going into tournaments like this?
One thing I always tell a lot of kids, not just when we go to these games, but anything, your first be your last impression. So we tell, once you step on the court, once you get between the black lines, any other concern or words in the world, you got to throw that out the door and you just got to focus. Because one, you're going against the best of the best, and this is the reason why you come to Legacy to compete against these type of kids. But two, it's an opportunity. Like, you never know who's in the stand watching, so you want to be able to perform and be ready. Because, with the transfer portal, it's harder for these high school kids now to get these scholarships. So any given night, your time is there. You got to take advantage of it.
Yes, I was looking at something today that says high school basketball recruiting, unless you those top 100 kids outside of that top 100, kind of almost moving to obsolete with the transfer portal. Hopefully they make some kind of changes to give these high school kids some hope. But I will say to some of the high school kids watching, hey man, D1 ain't always the only choice, man. You can always go D2, D3, man. There's a lot of NBA players, you know what I'm saying, and overseas players that came from there, man. So you talked about all the players and the teams, just being in this league itself. In a showcase like this, is it different with your coaching strategy as opposed to, like, say, when you was at Southside and you was really only playing Greenville County or South Carolina schools, where you may play a couple of schools that really ain't got no talent, as opposed to now everybody can beat you on any given day?
Man, it's honestly like we talk about it all the time. It's almost like we're a small college. Like, from the scouting reports to pregame to walkthroughs. It's like I remember when I was at Southside, it was just like, okay, we go to practice, we might talk about a couple of things, and naturally the athletic ability would take over the better team.
Mm-hmm.
Here it's like it's equal. So like everybody knows your calls, they know your counters. When you get out there, it's just who can impose their will on their opponent and who can sustain it for 32 minutes.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Back to you, Jeff.
So with this, I know it's the EYBL Scholastic. Is it? I know it's a national conference. Do y'all have like a conference champion, or is it just kind of the best team from it gets to go to the Geico Nationals? Kind of how does that play out as far as the conference being held together?
So we do have a conference championship. Last year, I want to say Montverde won it last year. This year, it's up in the air. So tomorrow we actually play Brewster up here in New York, and Montverde and Lehigh, who's 1-2 right now in the conference, play tomorrow at 8:00. So this session has been sold out for 3 weeks now. So I'm kind of trying to be biased, but at the same time, I kind of hope that Lehigh wins. So that means when it comes down to the Pete Hollis, the conference championship is going to be decided at the Pete Hollis. So that means everybody will compete hard. But far as like Geico, of course, I don't know if y'all knew that Geico is no longer the name. They just changed it to the national championship. So for our conference, last year they took the top 5 of our conference, which last year we had around 10. They took the top 5. This year we got 14. So I'm assuming they probably still probably take top 5 or 6, and then you got the teams like Prolific Prep. You got some other schools out there they'll probably look at as well.
Okay, going into this tournament, talking X and O's. I know not to give everything away, but what's something your team has to do well, and something they have to avoid to be successful in the Pete Hollis?
One, we got to continue to box out and rebound. I think that's been one of our we hang our hat on. For me, that's always been one of my things. As long as I've been coaching, my mentality, like the little stuff, win the 50-50 game, dive for loose balls, take charges, the stuff that the other teams want to do. And for us, like to be successful, we got to eliminate our turnovers. That's been one of our bugs for us. Trying to make the big play. They see somebody down the court, they want to throw it. And like I try to tell our kids, when you play against regular high schools, that ball's gonna get. But when you playing against somebody like a Cooper Flagg that's like 6'8.5" that can run like a deer, he's gonna snag that right in the air. So it's just like decision making and taking care of the ball. That's one thing we got to get better at.
Okay.
What as far as with getting your players, do you try to stay just in the Southeast? Do you get them from all over, just whoever kind of wants to come? How do you go about putting your team together year in and year out?
So we try to identify, like, honestly, one of our meetings that we had today, we was looking at a recruit board, looking at who we're going after. But I mean, we've had kids. We actually got a kid from San Diego, not team in Wisconsin right now. For us, because of like our uniqueness of our school, one, you got to have 80% to get credit. Anything below 80, for our athletic department, we got standards in where probation, suspension, as well as the school uniform. So you got to find kids that want to be a part of something like that. We're a health wellness school, so we don't fry anything. Everything's baked to grill. We don't do. There's a lot of stuff we don't do that other schools do. We're on block schedule. Our kids take college courses. Our athletes go for an hour and a half to hour 45 minutes for strength and conditioning. It's something that we all tell kids. This is something that you got to have a knack and you want to do it. It ain't one of the situations where you show up and you somewhere just decided I want to do it. It's got to be something that you're hungry and you got a desire for.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Hey, man, we wanted you to come out, put some eyes on this Pete Hollis, man. We appreciate you. We know you got a busy schedule, dog. You're up in New York for some games, and things like that, man. But we definitely appreciate you coming on Chuckin Buckets, man. And we wish you much success at this Pete Hollis. Come on, bring that thing home, BJ.
I appreciate y'all's support, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say we definitely gonna be in the building making some noise for some 864 royalty.
Right. All right, Jeff.
Hey man, we appreciate y'all stopping by. Be sure to jump in the comments, hit that like button, subscribe. Before we get out, BJ, man, is there any way people, if they want to help Legacy out, is there any way they could do that?
Yeah, I mean, of course you can go online. We selling tickets right now. You can go fan and just go up on the Legacy Early College and pull up Pete Hollis and the tickets up there. Just come out, support. Not just for like the EYBL Scholastic and Legacy, but for us, we just trying to do it for the city, man. We just want people to realize that there's good basketball been playing in Greenville, and you know, with the women's playing the SEC championship here, and then we don't have NCAA. It's time for us to take it to another level, high school wise. You know, I'm looking at Saturday night. You got Greer and Greenville playing. That's great for the city. That's something that the city need to get out and support as well. But for us over at Legacy, our thing is we just want people to realize that there's great basketball being played down here, and we just want people to come out and support it.
Y'all heard the man. There's great basketball in the 864. Keep coming out, supporting the kids, and keep chucking them buckets. You're going to miss 100% of the shots you don't take. As always, we out of here.